Good morning out there in YouTube land. On my way to work here this morning. Little foggy here this morning, central Indiana. It rained yesterday. No deer, no deer, no deer, no deer, no deer, no deer. Rained a little while yesterday. It stayed dry on me on the way into work and on the way home. Supposed to rain sometime this afternoon, hoping it holds out till I can get home. Got a big band of rain coming in here that was in Oklahoma yesterday, causing trouble. And ain't that something? Mother Nature reminding the people of Oklahoma just who in the hell's boss. A few earthquakes, a few tornadoes. Haven't heard of anybody hurt. A little bit of property damage with the earthquakes, I think. Prayers go out to them for sure. Not a lot going on here in central Indiana. I've been cutting a lot of firewood. You saw one of my previous videos. My buddy Clayton bringing me a big load of firewood. Setting it in the yard. Been whittling away at that pile. Good time of year to watch for deer. Saw some last night over behind 500 Password's house. Hunting season always brings out some interesting people. Pretty much the reason I kind of stray away from it anymore. Some young man shot another gentleman in the stomach while he was out squirrel hunting. Now I don't know how in the heck you mistake somebody's stomach for a squirrel, especially squirrel hunting. Squirrel hunting, maybe somebody do just pull up and shoot, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to me like it's squirrel hunting's a pull up and shoot type of hunting. Anytime I ever went squirrel hunting, I went out in the woods. If it's dry, especially like it had been, you can hear the little boogers forever. You can hear them dropping walnut hulls. You can hear them bouncing around in the leaves. Matter of fact, they're a pain when you're out deer hunting because they make a lot more noise than the deer do. But I don't understand. Had an old guy that supposedly knew a lot about hunting in around my house over in west central Indiana years ago. He seen me one day there during hunting season. Wanted to know if I wanted to go on a run, deer run, where a few guys get in where some deer are bedding down and they walk through the woods kind of slow and see if we can't jump one up. And I told him, I said, no, I don't feel like getting shot. He told me, he said, well, he said, ain't none of these guys will shoot you, Bill. I said, I'm not worried too much about them as I am worried about you. He said, well, I wouldn't shoot you. I said, well, this morning you told me you shot a stump. And he did. He said, I asked him, I said, did you see anything out there hunting, John? Well, I shot a stump, thought it was a deer. When I told him, I said, well, this morning you told me you shot a stump. He said, well, that wasn't a human. I said, well, it wasn't a deer either. Evidently you didn't have any idea what it was. Daylight savings time. Isn't that an interesting thought? Quite a few years there, Indiana held out. Didn't practice this odd situation of changing the clocks twice a year. Finally we broke down. Sure has peed a lot of people off, which I understand. Those people gotta understand. If you want to deal with people outside the state, you pretty much gotta follow the same rules that they do. That was the big deal of it. People didn't like the fact that we didn't change dealing with us. It made it tough for them. I just think it's nuts for anybody, to tell you the truth. Just my thought. Being a computer system analyst, see it from a little bit different eye. You got a computer system that keeps time of things happening. You go recording things at 1 o'clock in the morning and then turn right around and record more things at 1 o'clock in the morning. Kind of messes things up a little bit. I kind of wish I had my camera with me yesterday. I was about this far behind a vehicle yesterday morning coming down through here. About this same spot. The lady flipped a cigarette butt out the window. Instead of just flipping it out the window, she flipped it up out of the window. And I had to dodge to keep from hitting it. I'm not a big anti-smoking advocate. You know, if somebody wants to smoke, that's fine. I don't care. I don't like to smell it while I'm eating. And they've pretty much taken care of that. But by golly, keep your butts in the car. Sitting on the back porch with a friend of mine one time chatting. His mother-in-law was sitting out there in the yard in a lawn chair smoking a cigarette. She got done, she flipped that cigarette out there in the yard, still had the fire on the end of it. Wasn't just a little bit, a bird come down, a sparrow come down, grabbed a hold of that cigarette butt and took off with it. We kind of made mention that cancer. But anyway, that sparrow happened to be building a nest, of all places, in the lid of his propane tank, and that's where it took that cigarette butt. Now, we went over there, and by the time time he got it in there and it went out. But I thought, now, wouldn't that be an interesting little event? Had there been a small leak, of course, it'd been hard for anything to happen. Propane gas is heavier than air. It won't build up in underneath the lid. They're not airtight. But there was some nest material there. Could have started up a pretty good little fire. Anywhere that pellet square could have been building a nest up in the eaves of the house, done the same thing pretty easy. Think about what you're doing, folks. Strip them. I'm going to throw them out outside, number one. It's littering. They don't just rot. My God, strip the fire out of them. Keep them in your vehicle. If you don't like the smell of them in your vehicle, then you shouldn't be smoking in your vehicle. Get down here by the airport. I always like to drive into work around the airport because, yes, someday when I grow up, I want to be just like NT8.